How's it going, everyone? We're going to continue on getting this jukebox all put back together and working. If you didn't watch the first one, it came in running slow, and it was pretty gummy. And we didn't even plug it in and try it. I didn't want it to do anything to it. I'm sure these mechanisms are pretty hardy, so I'm sure it wouldn't have done anything to it, but normally I just pull the Mech out and start cleaning. This is a 460 Rockola. It's still kind of, I guess you want to call it analog. It's a little bit newer than the ones with all the wipers on it. The 460 is kind of a little bit more mechanical and a little bit more, I don't know, I don't think you want to call it modern. This one still has the the play plate. This plate tells you what songs are popular on this jukebox, and this kind of coincides with everything. It's kind of tied in with our basket and our plate here. This plate here is what actually tells the jukebox what selection has been made. When you make a selection on a jukebox, here's our 460. You know, we'll say like we want 148. And what happens is this motor here, this drive here, turns around and it finds 148, which is 148. Now it's way to hell over there. But we'll just say we hit 164. This little guy will go to 164, and that solenoid will pull that down, and 164 pin goes down. That lets the Mech know that that's what you selected. And then the basket turns, and it goes to 164, picks up the record, and puts it down onto the platter, and this guy will go to like 164, and when it lays down, this is timed with everything, and then when it lays down, starts playing, it runs this little lever here. It'll go in and pushes that little pin out. Every time, we'll just say 162 is played, it will push it out every time. Every time you play 162 and it lays down, like I said, this is timed with the basket. It pushes that pin out so the operator can look and see that 162 is being played a lot, but we'll say 183 hasn't moved at all in 2 weeks. So what he'll do is he'll pull 183 out, whatever song that is, and put something else in and see if that helps with that selection. It may just be a dead record that nobody plays. And then what he does is he comes in, he pushes this button here in the center and resets them all, and then sends it back out. Alright, now where were we before the phone rang? And same thing, there's a little solenoid on the bottom with a little lever that when you select like the B side, it'll come up and flip that one up. And it lets it know that that's the selection you made, and with all those pins in the right position, and then as it turns, it can find each one that you have selected and play your song. Cool. But I got her cleaned up, got all the gunk off of it anyway, and she's nice and free now. Everything's working like it should. When we left off, we were underneath and I was cleaning up the A/B side switcher. We got that all cleaned up and greased. I just used a little bit of light oil on everything and grease where needed. And after I let it sit for a little while, let that oil soak in, then I'll go back and kind of wipe things off and wipe the residue off. You know, on a lot of these things, less is more on your oil. You don't have to soak stuff down. It just needs a little bit, you know, for it. And then it'll work in. And if it seems like it's still a little stiff, you put a little bit more on it. But you don't have to soak it down. I do grease the gripper, because that's what actually flips from one side to the other. So I put a little grease on it so it'll work a lot better. Most of the time when you have metal on metal, you need to put a little oil or grease on it. But if you have plastic on metal, like up here, see, we have plastic guides here. We have 3 of them for this plate here. And this is what tells the Mech where the basket is. We have that push-on terminal down here. That plug is for the back side. We haven't gotten back here yet. We still have this little switch bank right back here to work on and get cleaned up. But here, when you have metal on plastic, you really don't need to... Is that loose? Yeah, it is. You don't really need to put any oil when you have metal on plastic. But I'll put a real thin layer, because of it being old and the plastic's hard. I'll put a little thin layer up here on the edge of our super lube, just so it'll move a little bit better, you know, and slide on it, trying to make everything as free as possible so we don't have to do much to it after we put it in. I don't care for lying on the floor and working on these things. That's why I pull them, put them on the bench, and work on them. Get them all cleaned up. You can get at everything up here on the bench and get it all cleaned up. Okay, so far we're just about done with this. Like I said, we have one little switch bank on the back side. We'll flip this around then and take a look at it, see if we need to clean it up and make sure all of our micro switches are working good. And if everything's okay back there and we don't have to, then we're going to come over and we're going to tear down our two drive motors and check them. I'm sure they're full of wax. And we'll get them cleaned out and re-greased. And then we should be able to put them back in, and we should be just about ready to set this back in the cabinet and see if we got anywhere with it. Then we can plug it in, and then I'll feel a lot better plugging it in and letting the Mech run. If everything's lubed, cleaned up, I'll feel a lot better about it running. And then if we have some problems, we can check on our plates here. See, we have a couple of wipers. We have the wiper here in the middle and the wiper in the middle here. That's what tells you back and forth. This side, when the Mech turns, this is what will find the record that you have selected, and then when it flops over and plays, what it'll do is it pushes it back in, or no, back out, whatever. And then that way the Mech knows that it is playing or has been played, and then it can move past them. But you got to clean them up. I use a fiberglass pencil, and I clean them up, and then I put a very thin coat of super lube over it just to kind of protect it. And it, you know, you don't wear grooves in it, it'll slide a lot better. It's just better for the Mech. Alright, I guess I'll get this flipped around and we'll take a look at that switch unit in the back there and see if we have to do anything with that, and then we will move on and tackle our drive motors. Alright, it just had some grease on the cam that was goobery, and our little rollers were a little stiff, so I got that all cleaned up and just put a light coat of grease on it. The switch bank here is what lets the Mech know where the rack is, the gripper, as you can see. Now the ones in the back, they seem to be depressed. Ooh, they're depressed. Okay, here we are. They're way back over there. Let's see. So one with that, that's probably when the tone arm and everything else moves over, then it'll switch on, those two. Pretty neat. Alright. Like I said, nothing major there, so we'll move on to our drive motors. Alright, let's see what we got going on here. That's the top. You can see I put a T and a B on them. The one with the big gear we knew went on the bottom, but just in case I don't get back to it, I labeled them. A lot of times the grease in these things get all stiff and waxy. And oh, let's go ahead and pull the nose off of it too. Now, need to see if we can get that up out of there. See if I can hang on to it. If I'm not mistaken, you can get some of the crap off of that. Look at that. Little, it's waxy. Definitely nasty. Alright, I don't have to get it all the grease out of there. But we do need to get that old waxy stuff out. God, that just looks awful weird. It is. That hole is off to the side. That hole is not centered. Alright, one down, one to go. I'll go ahead and get this one all checked out and repacked. And hopefully this one's just as in good shape as the other one. Alright, I'll get this one done, and then we'll be ready to put them back in the Mech mechanism. And I think after this, yeah, God, that's really waxy. So I'm gonna have to pull that one down completely too, drive the pin out of it. Alright, let me get this one done up and then we'll be ready to move on to putting them back in. Alright, I got our motors serviced. Let's see, that's T top. Slide him. Come on. That's the easy one. Two. Let me get a see if I can. Alright, hopefully you can see some of this. I don't have the springs in, and we'll put the springs under the mech once we get it put in here. Oh, fingers. Alright. Setting down on the mount. Yeah. Alright, now we can put our springs, our dampening springs, under it. I just found that it's easier. You don't have to fight with trying to set it on the springs. Just get it set on the mount, and then you can go back through and put your springs in place. 1, 2, 3. One more, that one hiding in the back corner. I can't get hold of nothing. And step in front of you for a minute. That's better. Get our mounting bolts up in. Well, if you're not bleeding, you're not doing something right. Okay, now let's get some wiring hooked up. We got our main here with one little one. This is our speaker, and not speaker. There's the little one I need. Okay, we got our big one. Small ones. Yeah, speaker. Those two weren't connected. Done. And we have our slide. Sucker wants to run away from me. Okay, now we need to find our pickup. Should be part. Ow. There she is. Okay, we got her all in, and I think I got everything plugged up and hooked up. I think it should be, hopefully. And I think I'm not going to put the speaker front on yet. It looks like I'm looking at the cord. It's a little scary, but I think we'll be alright. If you hear me yell and scream like a little schoolgirl, you'll know I got shocked. Have the Mech off. I'm not going to put the speaker panel on it until, oh, it's already on, until we test the Mech a little bit. I do see the light come on. Alright. So let's see, down is operate, up is scan. Let's see if we can make it scan. Okay, we got the platter turning, but our mech isn't. Okay, so let's see, do I have something not plugged in? Okay, I hear the relay kicking in. Stop, relay red, and right in relay. Or is that the big one? Yeah, that's our big relay here, which is the play relay. Alright. But our basket or nothing's not turning. Yeah, I know somebody's out there screaming, you didn't plug in that one cord, you didn't plug in that one. No, those ones weren't plugged in. Let's see, that would be the one going all the way down. That should be that one. This one right here. Or it's that real big one. Aha, there we go. Run that for a little bit. And let some of that kind of, let our oil kind of seep in a little bit. Okay, now if we put this on, let's go past there. If we put this on operate, that should go to our home position. And it doesn't. Yeah, operate, it should cycle through and go to our home position. I am kind of encouraged though, the basket's turning pretty freely. Let's see. I think we should check our connections again. I am thinking that it's this big one. Okay, scan. And still nothing home. Let's see. Circuit breakers. It's good. Ooh. AVC on. Record equalization is on standard. But then that's not going to do nothing, but I just feel better if they're okay. 5 amp fuse. That will be here, but we have power on that because the relay's kicking. And if we didn't have any power, we wouldn't have anything going on here. Still have a feeling I don't have a cord plugged in. Let's see, credit switch. And credits. That's on operate. I think that just tripped the breakers. No? Okay. Let's try it again. 1 27. Okay, it hit 127. Alright, I am going to have to see if I can figure out what's going on here. So I'll bring you back if I figure something out. We'll do a little troubleshooting. I still believe I may not have, either I don't have a plug plugged in, or I've got a bad connection. So I'll bring you back if I find something out. How many of you were yelling at the screen, saying I didn't have, this green one was laying down there, that I needed to plug that in? See if it'll stop at the home position. Nope. Not that time. It wants to keep running. So that. Aha. There. Very interesting. I thought that should be out further. Let's see what I got here. And put that in 100. No. 1, 1, 1. Getting like that. Okay, she's stopping at home anyway. Oh, which is a big plus. Let's try it again. 1, 0, 0. I think we may need to. Let's put it in 110 and see if it's just not going far enough. 1, 1, 0. Oh, picked up 110. But it didn't like 100. That's Bobby Gentry and Glenn Campbell. Yay. Okay, I'm going to turn that off. Put it in the off position, and then I'm going to put the speakers on it, and we'll see if it'll actually play. I heard it playing, but we need to check and see if the amp's working. So let me go grab the speakers, which are sitting right behind you, and I'll get them put on and let's test out a record. Okay, got our speakers all in and hooked up. Definitely have a hum. Nope, see, it's still. Oh, shit. Oops, excuse me. Let's put it in operate. Pick it up, lay it down really nice. But we have a nothing. Okay, eject it. Okay, again, I will bring you back if I figure out. Got our filter scratch on. pickup. Hooked up there. Okay, I'll bring you back. Alright, we have a hum, but that's about all that's going on. I can hear the record, you know, playing through the stylus. Oh, jeez. So what we are going to do is we're going to pull the amp out and put that up on the bench and take a peek at it. Like I said, there's an awful lot of hum. I don't know when the last time was that this was operating. He just was sitting on his porch, back porch. So who knows how long it... shit. Excuse me. Can I sit there? Yeah, you'll sit there. I need my stinking little pliers. I'll get that ground off of the pickup. You know, we could still have a